let me know if there's anyone out there and if you can see me. Oh my God, Sunny. Hi. You got in here quick for an unplanned stream when I had no idea whether or not I'd be here or anything. Like, oh, fuck me. Ant-Man, hello. You guys really popped in fast. You're amazing. Yeah, I am in a bathtub as you can see. Um, and I actually have a party later, maybe two. So I can't stick around for like as long as I usually would. But I didn't want to miss a chance to spend a little bit of time with you because I've been missing you lately. Like I love streaming and it's really hard to do that whilst you're traveling and experiencing things. Unless you want to stream IRL just walking around, which I don't think I'm skilled enough for yet. So, as much as I'd love to, I'm not a dick. I'm not really ready to try that out yet. But maybe one day, like maybe I should watch some IRL streams and just see what people get up to and how they keep people entertained while they explore the world. Because I have no idea how you do that. And also, it's just like not a very, it's kind of a little bit of a security concern as well. So I do wonder how people stay safe. That bathtub does not look comfy. To be fair, it's more comfy than some of the bathtubs I've streamed from, if I'm honest with you. Shut up! I've never clicked a notification faster in my life. Why? Why? What was the notification? I didn't see. Green screen? No, it's not green screen. Like literally, I can hold on to this. If green screens could like hide my fingers behind stuff, that'd be really, really impressive. I love your shirt. Oh, so I have a t-shirt on underneath, and it's actually just this really beautiful sheer kind of starry thing that I got going on. I really love it. It is like one of the, I found like a very specific website with very few items on it, and this one was the only one that took my fancy. Like normally I go to much more generic places to get clothing because I don't really care, but like this was really special. Please be my wife in Texas. I'm dyslexic, and I thought that said, please beat my wife in Texas. And I was like, that's a bit far from me, you know? Are you going to cover my travel expenses? You know? Where's the running water, lol? Well, that really wouldn't be very comfortable now, would it? Why would I do that? Why would I sit in a full bathtub? That's just weird. Think. Just think for a moment. Honestly, just use the laptop mic. I don't know why the road is so annoying. So is this no good? Is there a problem? It's a bit echoey. Yeah, it's gonna be echoey because it's in a bathroom. It's just muffled for some reason. It's too muted. Volume low. Well, you're gonna get an echo no matter what, I'm afraid. But I can try a different mic. I can just. I'm gonna be honest. I don't actually know.
Is this any better? You're going to have to press 72 if this is any better. Yes, it is? Amazing. Sorry about that. I don't know why I bother with these. I can never get them to work for some reason. But we gave them a try. We gave them a chance. and that's all that matters, I guess. Can we see your taps? Um, there's only one, and no, you can't. It's like a big tube. I'm holding it right now. It's like one uni tube, and then above it, it has like a dial that you turn. But no, you can't see it. Restricted access, I'm afraid. So this is without the Rode? Yeah, this is just using my laptop audio, like my laptop microphone. So by comparison, the two sounds that you just heard, one was the Rode and one was the laptop. And the second one is the laptop. The one you're hearing now is the laptop mic. Ah, how does it sound when I whistle? Oh my god, was that who just gifted all those subs? Mert, thank you so much. That's insane. That's insane. How many is that? Wait, did a bunch of you gift? No, it was just Mert. All of those are from Mert. Oh my god. Thank you. Holy shit. You're so lovely. It was really cool seeing you at the Twitch Club, by the way. Thank you to all of the people from the community who came and hung out with me today. We played some games on the TwitchCon floor, and we went and wandered. We went shopping and had a perusal of all of the art stores and stuff. And like, it was just really really cool to hang out with you. Yeah, I love my community so much. It's awesome that you took the time. You know. Is this what a typical UK bathroom looks like? No. To be honest with you, this is what a typical hotel bathroom looks like. And you know, I've been around the world, and this kind of decor and stuff pretty common everywhere. I'm not gonna lie. Did you have any epic food today? I ordered some. I ordered like a chicken sandwich thing with a croissant and tits, and like some cheesecake that didn't arrive, but they replaced it with a couple of different cakes instead. And half my order didn't arrive. Like I ordered nuggets and chips and just all sorts, and most of it didn't come. But the bits that did come were top tier, and there was a handwritten apology note. I always forget the name of the thing that you supposedly do when you've dishonored yourself. And I always say commit bukkake, but I'm pretty sure it's not that. I can't remember the word, but like it was very like I'm sorry, whatever will I do? You know? But like in a really, really sweet way. Like it was like I'm so sorry that you didn't get the things that you wanted and you're probably really excited. And we gave you some nice things and I hope that they're good equivalents and I hope you enjoy these instead. And I'm like, you know what? I'm still happy. You know, I'm full, I'm fed, I'm still happy. I'm not gonna ruin their business. I'm not gonna be like, 1 star, bitch. You know, I gotta feel like they did the best they could. Seppuku, is that it? Maybe. I'm scared to start using words that you suggest in case you suggest worse ones. I'm pretty good at landing myself in it all on my own. You know, I for years and years thought that adolescent meant not quite human because I asked my aunt what it meant when I was a kid. It's like, what does adolescence mean? And she was like, it means not quite human. And I just believed her for way too many years. way too many years, which is kind of weird when you think about it, because people would be like, "What's up with her?" and say, typical adolescent, you know how it is." And I just assumed that she was like partially human, and that whatever the fuck she was else, was challenging to deal with. Commit Sudoku. Let's just call it Sudoku from now on. Do you, I'd love to meet you someday, but I don't see you coming to New England anytime soon. Where the fuck is New England? Why did we need a second England? Old England's fucking terrible. Old England, just one was more than enough Englands. Where's that one? What the fuck? When did we make a new one? No one told me about this. I wasn't invited to the New England. How long has there been a new one? It's the place that includes Boston. I thought Boston was a city in a state that I used to know the name of, but don't anymore. Wait, is Boston in Massachusetts? Is it in Massachusetts? Yes! Oh my god, I know a thing! I knew a fucking thing about geography. That's amazing. I was not taught any geography at all. I was home educated, and we didn't have any geography books in my tree house. So, um, yeah, maps are hard for me. Okay, we couldn't afford maps back in my day. The weirdest gaslighting ever. Which part is the gaslighting? I feel like a lot of people use the term gaslighting now, but don't actually know what it means, and they use it inappropriately. And I low key find it really annoying. For somebody who gets spells everything wrong and has terrible grammar, I really get annoyed when people like use words wrongly. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm such a hypocrite. Maybe it's because we hate in others what we hate most about ourselves, which explains every homophobe. You can't tell me that there's a straight homophobe. I'm sorry. Bitches. New Hampshire, Vermont. What? There's a New Hampshire. Why? Why do we need a second Hampshire? This is so weird. Why do people do that? Why do we need a New York? That's true. I'm pretty sure the original York was in the UK, you know? But a lot of the names that we have for UK areas they have a history, like specific to the region. Which really makes you wonder why so many places in the UK have the word cock in them. I'm not kidding. Like, you can Google it. Cock. There's cock in every town. There's cock in every fucking county. There's cock everywhere in the UK, and I don't know why. Cockermouth. Yeah, Cockermouth flooded, and every time it came up on the news, like every time, there were people trying not to laugh as they introduced, "Here we are live from Cockermouth, which has now flooded." Uh, like there were so many who were just like holding it together, just like, sounds like a goddamn. It's a genuinely real place, and it was full of witches. Oddly, it's actually famous for its witches museum. If you didn't know. No. seem to know a lot about witches, sausage. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history about witches. My favorite thing about Bath, if you've ever been to Bath, is they have a area, right? Every house is really, really expensive in Bath. Any land in the city of Bath is really expensive. Like it's got high rent. The houses are worth so much money. It's just crazy expensive there. And so there's like this one little plot, this one square, and it's like in between houses. It's like someone took a cookie cutter and just cut out one of the houses. Oh my god, Mert. Oh my god, thank you. You're still being so fucking generous. Thanks for making my day, sweetheart. Yeah, I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Yeah. Everyone's getting a free sub today. But yeah, in Bath, there's a cutout of a house, like a massive gap, and like where a house should be, and it's just a little rose garden. And many, many years ago, a woman was burned at the stake there for being a witch. And while she was tied there and they were setting the fire, she said, I will curse anyone. I will curse this land and I will curse anyone who stands upon it or something. Something along those lines. And hundreds upon hundreds of years later, still, no one dares. No one fucking dares build anything on that land. And that's exactly why. It's worth so much money. Like, so much money. And like it would be so good to develop, and people just grow roses on it and stay the fuck away from it to appease the angry witch. Ooh. Hmm. But what? Are you a modern day witch being washed by money in a bathtub? I am not being washed by money. Every second that I am not being washed by femboy maids just sweeping fat stacks of money across my hair, and cleaning my legs with them and feet is a terrible day. My day gets worse and worse the longer this doesn't happen. But here we are, and you'll have to do, I suppose. Bitch! That's okay, it wasn't particularly useful anyway. That was the road mic disappearing, making an exit. Ah, the title made me double take. Ooh. Yeah? I don't know what it is. I don't set my own titles. Probably should. You know, if one of my mods gets mad at me one day, they could get me fired, cancelled, permabanned. Easy. That's how much trust I put in them. I have no idea what you're saying. I just trust that it's relevant and that it will help people know what they're clicking on, what they're getting themselves into. Which today is my hotel bathtub. Are you more of a bath or shower person? I prefer showers. I do not like to be in a stew with my own filth. You know, I don't want to be the bumps in the broth. I'd rather not, because like when you wash in the shower, the bits of whatever you wash off leave. And if you've ever put rose petals in a bath, you'll know exactly what I think happens with dirt in the bath. Like it's probably just sitting there in the water and then re-clinging to you as you leave. Also, I'm very, very opposed to doing laundry. I fucking hate doing laundry. And so, like, if you're not actually washing the dirt away, if the dirt is in the water and you get out of the bathtub and you suck dick, you suck dick, you suck, and then you fuck, you fuck, you what do? You get fucked. You wipe yourself down with a towel and it's dirty water that you're cleaning off with the towel, then the towel needs washing sooner because it's probably got a nice little coating of excrement and nasty stuff that's on you when you're in the bath. So like you're putting that on your towel and then your towel is gank and your towel is a veritable breeding ground. orgy zone for filth. So like I would rather shower and then my towel stays cleaner for longer because it's actually clean water that I'm rubbing on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very passionate about this. Fuck baths. Baths, I would only resort to a bath for some, like, medical reason. Like, I can't stand or something, you know. But, like, nope, I would much rather shower. I'm a shower lady, haven't taken a bath in yonks. Definitely it's been years, many years. Fuck baths. Why not take a quick shower before the bath? Because by the time you've gone to all the effort of taking a quick shower, you might as well finish up with the shower. Why then fill an entire bath afterwards? To do like that, filling the bath would take longer than just finishing the entire wash in the shower. Like the half and half is the least efficient version. But by every means, by every means. Tits. You're not going to TwitchCon US, right? I I'm not 100% sure, but I just don't think it's very likely because um, America has gotten quite scary, and people don't like it's. I've heard a lot of horror stories from like travelers, so yes, um, yes, I don't know if it's worth the risk. Just because, yeah, the things I'm seeing, I don't want to ever go through that shit. I think that's reasonable. Honestly, if you don't have to, then stay away from the States for now, to be honest. Yeah, because of the human rights issues and the horrible things that are happening to travelers and stuff, I think there is actually a travel warning out in the States now. I think that multiple countries have literally warned their citizens that it's not good to go to the United States at the moment. It may get invaded by a preemptive Greenland. Do you think? I feel like Greenland is quite a peace loving society. I think we're good. I don't think they're going to go occupy anywhere anytime soon. Uh. Paris was on fire not long ago. Paris was on fire yesterday, wasn't it? Didn't they celebrate something and burn everything down? Wasn't Paris yet again an enormous dumpster fire for the night? What do you mean a while ago? It was for football. That's ridiculous. Excuse me. Favorite soap smell? Probably lavender or mint. Lavender or mint, probably. hmm Nobody takes a bath with clothes on. Well, I guess I'm a nobody then. What a surprise. Are you still in Rotterdam? Yes. Yes, I am. Last night. What do you guys reckon I should do with my last night in Rotterdam? I'm most likely just gonna go partying, but just in case that falls through for some reason or another, what do I do? If the cool kids don't like me and I'm not allowed to sit with them, where do I go? goths don't bathe full stop, right? I think it'd be really, really hard to get away with not bathing as a goth. I think that's a stereotype about hippies, but it's not a stereotype about goths. Although some goths morph into hippies over summer because some places wearing entirely black would just be utterly unbearable. Um, do you miss the buns? Of course I do. You've seen my rabbits. They're fucking cute. What? Have you seen Oscar? Do you really think that the thought has ever crossed my mind that I'm just like, oh, thank fucking away from those bastards? Like, Jesus. Finally, a break. Like, they are the fluffiest, cutest things ever. Of course, I have trouble parting with them. But, like, my pet sitter will send me photos of them watching my stream on my laptop. So he plays my stream for them when when I touch when I when I'm not around. Yes. Can you try whistling in that room for the echo? I already did. Grim, where have you been? Where have you been? I've done that so many times. But yes, I can do that again, I suppose. But I don't know what to whistle. Whenever people are like, can you whistle for me? I can't remember any songs. Like passively, I whistle all the time, all day. Like I will whistle quite often. But the minute I have to, when someone's like, "Can you whistle something for me?" I'm just like, what's a whistle? What's a song? Fuck. Do you tick more when you lie? No, not really. I feel like a lot of people want to fantasize that people with Tourette's just can't lie and that they're just like saying exactly what comes into their head at all times, and that's just not true. Um, so, like, people like the idea of someone who's just entirely vulnerable and can only ever tell you exactly what they're thinking, even when they don't want to tell you anything. But that's not what it is at all. Is it like a mini blackout? No, it's not like a mini blackout. I am aware. I am not like gone or absent at all. You're mentally present and usually bored and frustrated, like, come on, get it over with. I want to speak. Yeah, I've been thinking this whole time of like, fuck, what's a song? What's a song I can whistle? And I can't remember any. What? Oh, I know one. I don't remember the rest. I know that. That's as much of the song as I know. Uh-huh. Are you hiding from an earthquake? I'm like, yeah, bitch, the ground better not find me in here. It would be fucking surprising. I'll lather your dad's dick. Your dad's. Have you ever had Have you ever seen your dick? Have you seen much nature or wildlife there? No, I've been mainly in an enormous city. Maybe if I had taken the train here, because you can do that, even though I live on an island far away from here, you can take a train from the UK to the Netherlands. But last time I did that, I was stuck on it for 7 hours. Ooh. And it was the worst thing ever. So, won't be doing that this time. I didn't do it this time because I had somewhere to be on the day that I arrived, and I couldn't risk being late. So, and I couldn't come a day early, so it didn't matter when I arose, because there's a lot going on at home right now, and I can't afford to take extra days away. So I flew, and you don't really see much wildlife above the clouds. Oh my god, Mer. Oh my god. Thank you. You're being so insanely generous today. Yeah, Mer. If you just got gifted a suck. If you got sucked, if you got gifted a sub by Mert. I don't need to know. Well, anything else that he gifted you is between you and Mert. But like you just got gifted a sub by him. You can hop onto my Discord and see a few extra channels that only the subs can see. I've got plenty of free channels on my Discord. We have people there who have never subbed. But like if you are subbed, you can see a cheeky bit of extra stuff. So you might want to go take a look at that while you can with your free sub. So join my Discord and read the rules. Otherwise you'll be very confused and not be able to use anything. Okay? The rules! Hi, Anita darling. What makes you fall in love with someone? Why would I tell you that? Then I'd have a bunch of fakers pretending to be everything that I want. Like if I was like, I specifically like people who know how to repair retro games and also work on a dairy farm and also, are rocket surgeons and, but they have to have all three of those vocations at the same time. Like then there'd be a bunch of you lying about those jobs just to get close to me. And make at least 200K a month. I don't really. I feel like if you're gonna marry for money in this day and age, when you can get your own job and stuff, then why work with just one client if you're gonna do sex work? It's much more lucrative to work for many clients if you're gonna, you know, provide someone with company for money. So like if you couldn't love them at any salary, you definitely shouldn't marry them anyway. If you think marriage is just for love, right? And you marry someone and they're like, they must have this amount of income. Well, what if they get fired, bitch? You just commit to life to someone for an income they no longer have. Like, people don't stay in the same job forever. And sometimes people get hurt. Or sometimes people become stay at home partners, for your kids or whatever. So if you married someone for their income, that's fucking stupid. Firstly, just do prostitution. Why stick to one client? Like, marrying for money is prostitution. Okay, it is just straight up. If you care about their bank account and their money, by all means, avoid marrying people who are shit with money. Avoid people who have masses of debt and spend irresponsibly, because otherwise they're going to be spending your money irresponsibly. So, of course, by all means, leave people alone who are like taking out that extra credit card as soon as like the bailiff leaves with their fucking house, leaves their house with the TV. Like, by all means, leave those people. But if you're like, I won't marry someone who has less than this income, you're a sex worker. That is sex work. You're turning it into an like a revenue stream, an income stream. If marriage is that kind of contract to you, yeah, that is sex work. And it doesn't make sense to just have one client if you're gonna think like that. Mm-mm. Ads, thank you so much for the sub. Did your Tourette's get better with time, or it seems easier for you to talk nowadays? No, it doesn't. Tourette's is a fluctuating condition. So, like, you've been here for a few minutes. I had quite a lot of severe tics in the beginning of the stream, so it just goes up and down. Like, I could have loads of ticks for 5 minutes and then barely any for the rest of the day. Or I could have loads for the month and then have like 7 months where I don't. Or vice versa. Like it fluctuates. Like people with any kind of condition can have good days and bad days. Like if you have eczema, you might have like a week where you have rashes all over you, all over you, and then like for the rest of the month you might not have any rashes at all, but you still technically have eczema. It'll just flare up from time to time. Are your tics too severe to drive a car? Yeah, I can't drive. Um, because I have tics that would make it really dangerous to drive. And the funny thing is, when I get good at something, I tick less when I'm doing it. Like I tick less when I do my makeup now because I'm more experienced and I know what I'm doing and I can focus, right? But if I can't focus on something and my focus keeps getting pinged, it is very likely to cause me to tick a lot more. So yeah, I don't think I'd be able to get used to driving because in the time it took me to like be able to hone in and get good at it and focus, I'd have probably either killed myself or multiple other people. And then it's not guaranteed. Like most of the time, I don't tick very much when I play computer games, but when I have to talk with other people and I have to focus on lots of different things, and people are pinging me and talking to me on Discord or whatever, like if there's loads of messages, if there's loads of noise outside the house, whatever, if I'm distracted, then I will tick more during the game than if I'm allowed to just sit alone and really focus in on it. I do have ticks when I'm alone. It's just the focus that is the issue. Uh, yep. Boob. Do you like tits? Huh. I don't. Why are you sat in a bath? Where else am I going to sit, South Star? Your mum's lap? Like, why not? It's a place many people sit. I mean, you're not exactly meant to stand in the bath. That's even more pointless. I don't. Would it be possible for you to? Would it be possible to bite someone like your BF? Like, isn't the physical part uncontrollable too? What are you asking about Tourette's? Are you like, are you gonna bite your boyfriend? What? So like, there are so many layers to explain about that. I don't really know where to begin in explaining. Uh, 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 uh. So I don't think I will. I think you'll just have to. That's just gonna have to remain a mystery. Sell the water. There is none. My bath is empty. But also, no one would buy my bath water. Like, why would I sell my bath water? Do you know a beer company once approached me for my vaginal yeast because they wanted to make beer out of it? Me, like of all the female content creators, like wouldn't you start by checking if someone had like an OnlyFans or something before you started approaching people? Like, why would you just randomly blanket target anyone? And why did I come up on like the request list for that one? But wouldn't it be funny if people were like drinking it hoping they'd catch Tourette's? What's your thoughts on Sydney Sweeney selling her bathwater? Mario, who the fuck wouldn't? If you had something that you were going to throw away every day anyway, and it was worth a fuck ton of money to you all of a sudden, like, can you imagine if your underwear was in high demand and someone would spend £10,000 on your used underwear, right? How many of you press one if you'd sell all of them? You just buy a new pack every week to wear for the week, and you would just send every single one of them and sell every single one. If you could sell them for 10k a pop, exactly. So also press seven if you would sell your bathwater if you could. Like, you're not going to use your bathwater anyway. It's just going to go down the drain. If you could pay your mortgage with the bathwater, why the fuck wouldn't you? So, what other logical, reasonable opinion could there possibly be except fair play to you, girl? Hell yeah. Like, if you can sell something that's worthless to you and get a fuck ton of money for it, do it. Like, she doesn't have to degrade herself in any way. I don't think that sex work is inherently degrading, but I do think that people who don't want to engage with someone sexually and it makes them uncomfortable to doing it anyway can feel degrading. So, like, if you're not into it but you need to for the money, it can feel upsetting to do it. It's still essentially against your will, for example. And it's like she doesn't have to do anything out of her comfort zone. She doesn't have to do anything that crosses her own personal boundary. She doesn't have to make herself uncomfortable. She has to pour herself a nice, warm fucking bath. And I mean, it depends on the kind of demand when you think about it, bitch. Because if you like, there might be a fuck ton of horny men who want this bath water soap, right? So they might have to just pour a massive ass tanker, like a big old clear tube. Like, what was that movie about the woman who fell in love with a fish boy? Something water? Like, there's a fish man and it's like swimming around in a big old tank. The Shape of Water. Yeah! Do you think they just like dunk her Shape of Water style and she does like backflips in it underwater and stuff, and then they just pull her out and they're like, thank you, and then they just dunk her in the next bat? And like technically it's bath water because it's touched her naked body for like 5 seconds or some shit. Like, maybe there's some arm that just dangles her above it, goes bloomsh, bleep, bloomsh, bleep, and just like dunks her in these massive vats of water. Bitch! Are you selling soap? No, no one wants to buy my soap. I don't make soap. No, some company has ever gone, you know what, could you take a bath so we can use the water as a specialist ingredient? Nobody wants like Tourette soap, you know? What? Oh, there are people, but I shouldn't have broached this topic because like a bunch of newbies are just gonna get banned. Wow, wow. Or have a continuously emptying tub that sends water into an automated canning station. Oh my god, like milking a cow, you just go into your like bathing station and it's like, could you know that like e-girls have been institutionalized as literal cash cows in some places. Like, they have these massive ass complexes, massive buildings where all of these women sit in front of fake backgrounds that look like bedrooms but aren't bedrooms, and they're training every day how to dance, how to sing, how to talk to specific types of men, how to attract exactly the right audience that will simp for them, all that sort of stuff. And it's like, could you imagine if e-girls were in that situation where like it's like you ring the dinner bell and they all have to go over to the baths and sit in it, and like water just runs through it like a water slide, just always from back to front, and it just like produces like 10 million gallons of bath water. Because you just know that Sydney Sweetie is not sitting in her bath, getting out of her bath, and then getting like a little measuring cup and going, 1, 2, 3. That one's going to George, I think he's going to wash his knob with it. 4, 5. Like, it's not. I don't know how these men think that it's gonna go, right? Like, if you think about it for even 5 seconds, you realize that the very concept of it is not gonna be worth the money, technically. And that's not shade on Sydney Sweeney. It's just saying that, like, a lot of weirdo Joe Goldberg, tampon stealing, knicker sniffing, sock wielding fucking people, like the ones who are like, her foot has touched this floor and are like licking the floor because of it, those kinds of people. I pictured those as the target demographic, the kind of people who would find it somehow in any way like significant that there's somebody else's bathwater in the soap. That's the audience I think of, right? Like, that is the level of horny. And the thing is, like, if it's like because she personally has touched the water that went into that soap, like, there is no industrialized process where that's going to be like romantically amazing and sensual experience for her. Like, it's going to be mass produced. There's not going to be like a servant man who, like, she just leans out of the balcony, goes, "Servant boy," and he comes scurrying up the stairs to start, like, funneling her bath water and shipping it off merrily to the fucking soap factory every day. Like, are you kidding me? That's not how this is going to work. It's going to be very diluted if it even is bath water. And then, like, how much of the water is bath water? Because technically, she could take a pipette, like 3 drops of her bath water, and put it in the vat of soap. And that would technically be soap that contains a trace of her bath water. So, like, you're there just, like, with soap in your mouth, just like, oh, I can taste the sweetie. And, like, yeah, there's not even, like, a 1 million tillionth of her DNA in that soap. So yeah, I don't really have that much of an opinion on it. I don't really think about it. Woohoo! Strawberry. Do you like titties? Hang on, I have not had matcha out. This whole titty, this whole time. There we go. Meow. I see you now, mods. There's no escape. Let me just reposition. Oh, that was crunchy. Are you into bird watching? We call them twitchers, weirdly, here. We call bird watching twitching. Oh my god, Ellen Viking! Oh my god! It's you! Did I get really drunk and arm wrestle you? Is that you? Yes! Oh my god, I remembered someone's name. It was so cool to meet you. So fucking cool. You are muscle goals, 100%. One day I hope to get like 1 millionth the henchness that you have achieved. But yeah, I learned lots of cool things about arm wrestling at the party. That sounds like one worthy of recounting. There wasn't much of a story to it. I met this really pretty girl who let me squat her on my shoulders. So, like, I put her over my shoulders like this. and I was just doing reps with her, just squatting. And then I put her down, and we hung out and had a few drinks. And then I met Ellen, and she arm wrestled a few people, and she taught me how to have proper form and lean in, use your lats. I remember it all. I don't know how I remember that. I was very drunk. Wait, you was what? You was starstruck to meet me? What about you? Aren't you like the strongest woman in Sweden? That's how everyone introduced you. Everyone was like, this is officially the strongest woman in Sweden. I was like, holy fuck! Yeah. Not surprised though. Like, you could tell just by looking at you. So strong. Shut up! But also, like, when I put that lady on my shoulders and did the squats, I think her jewelry got my shoulder. Like, here's the proof that that genuinely happened. Can you see all those little crisscross, like, mini bruises? It looks like someone whipped my shoulder. I think, like, her jewelry got me. I didn't notice at the time, though. Do crabs think that fish are flying? No, bitch. No. Crabs fly. Crabs swim. They don't fly. They do fly, but only if you're horrible. And they don't fly unless you throw them. So only if you're horrible as well. But they do swim, and they look like they're flying in the water. So if they think fish fly, then they think that they can fly too. That was the longest way I could have ever told you any of that. Anyway, Ellen, I swear I'm a normal person. I probably sounded more normal when you met me drunk yesterday. Um, uh-uh. Funnily enough, one of the things I have to explain to people when I meet them at parties is that my Tourette's was reduced by alcohol. They're like, wait, where did your Tourette's go? And I'm like, in the cup. Wait, what? How did we go see fish fly fishing? What? How did we go to fly fishing? I didn't mention anything about fly fishing. You're super strong, and I'm happy to coach you a little bit. And yes, you seem pretty normal. That's super cool. Yes, alcohol is a depressant, and a lot of what causes Tourette's syndrome is actually an overproduction of serotonin and dopamine, because your brain and your nervous system don't communicate correctly, and that's why you have the tics. The cause of that disruption is the overproduction of serotonin and dopamine. So a lot of people with Tourette's who don't know that they have Tourette's, or a lot of people with Tourette's who try to live normal lives and are unmedicated and stuff, can end up accidentally, without even realizing why, become alcoholics. Because it allows you to function like a normal person, and without it, you're throwing your dinner and screaming slurs at people. Like, I whistle to prevent myself from having too many tics at inappropriate times because I will offer to fist your dad even if he's present in the room with us, right? I will offer to fist your dad. I will, shout slurs and all sorts. And I don't want to offer to fist kids, for example. So if like I was walking casually down the street and a whole entire school just empty, like the bell rings, everyone's going home, and I'm like suddenly surrounded by children, right? Then I could whistle a tune and be slightly less likely to end up in prison. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, and thank you for hopping in. I'm so glad I got to see you again. It's kind of. You know what I mean. Hey, I wanted to thank you for the advice. Monday, you helped me 6 months ago on Monday about a situationship with two friends being romantically interested, and it bothered me. I learned to let go of my own ego feelings and feeling much better now. Thank you. Hey, that's so cool. Well, I'm glad you're doing that, dude. Very, very cool. Did you ever get to explore Rotterdam a bit? Just traveling through it looked great. I mostly have only gotten to explore TwitchCon this time. I didn't have enough time to do anything else. And obviously, with my situation with my mom right now, I don't really have a lot of time to spend here. So if I would love to see Rotterdam again. I would love to see Amsterdam again. Hands down, two of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. That is so special. But yeah, at the moment, this is not a good time for me to be having a holiday and taking extra days. So I have purely been doing mostly work things and stuff, and just doing Twitch things and stuff. So don't you think it's rude talking about fisting people's dads? You seem to think it's funny. Well, yeah, I think if I didn't find it funny, I would probably, I'd probably not be here. I mean, fuck. I don't get to choose what I say to people. That's the nature of Tourette's. So, like, if I was like horribly mortified and going like really chronically ashamed or embarrassed, then yeah, my life would be ruined. Like, of course, I have to have a sense of humor about it. I I think about I don't really think about people that I target very much. I really don't feel like the people who are targeted by my Tourette's. I don't worry about them. They're gonna be fine. The spider that lives in my bathroom, I think about that poor fucker every day. Because, you know, from its perspective, I throw off all of my clothes, jump into the corner of the room, summon water out of nowhere, stand under it for an immense amount of time, and scream about a cock I clearly do not have. And like, that spider must think I'm absolutely insane. I must be a chronically insane giant. Like, Attack on Titan style. I must be like some gargantuan fucking horror just coming in to invade his space. And I often think about what animals, the fuck my Tourette's, what do animals think of clothing? Have you ever thought about that? Because, like, if your dog ever watches you, like, undress, to them it just looks like you just took off your skin. You know? You're like, I have red skin today, tomorrow I will have green. And then at the end of the day, you just go, and you just rip it all off. And it just falls to the ground. And you're all like smooth and pink underneath. I wonder if they think that's like you just rip your skin off. They must think we're snakes. Well, yeah, I mean, do they know that snakes shed? I didn't know that snakes shed until I was like an adult, and most animals don't get to be adults. You know that, right? Like, their maximum age is like 6. Do you know how like stupid I was when I was 6 years old? Like, I needed to be told not to eat cat food, you know? Or not to lick lamps, but lampposts. And that's like the tippiest top of their reasoning abilities. That's like the maximum age they can ever be. You know? So I don't know, the way they process the world must be insane. And sometimes it really shows. Like a fully adult dog that is old enough to raise their own family. I've seen them do shit like there's a little tiny tunnel that no, like there's like a little rabbit box against the wall. And like the dog's curious about the rabbit. So the rabbit goes into the rabbit box. And the dog will run into the next room and look at the wall, expecting the rabbit to come out the other side of the wall. And things like that, you know? Like dogs are trying to eat the rainbow in the sprinkler. And like that's the maximum adult intelligence they're ever gonna have. They're never gonna be smarter than this. Never. And sometimes that blows my mind. I feel that way when I talk to Americans too, sometimes. I'm like, wow, this is the smartest you'll ever be. You're fully grown. You're allowed to like drink alcohol, drive. Do you still have a spanking tick? You know, I think I might be over it. I can't remember what. No, I am not over it. No, never mind. For a minute there, I couldn't remember the last time. myself, I must say you aren't wrong. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like I can make that joke. I'm not American or anything. I'm just also stupid. And I feel like when you're stupid, you're allowed to take the piss out of stupid people. That's how it works, right? It's like when you're British, you're allowed to like take the piss out of British people. Were you just talking about eating cat food? No, I was talking about not being like I had to be told. Like I didn't figure it out on my own. Doesn't mean I ever ate cat food. I don't think, but it does mean that I needed to be told not to eat it as a child. You know. And one of the mods banned me. Sometimes I feel like that I can't figure out what the point of asking people to ban you is. And the weirdest part about it is that quite often they'll just go, I was joking, can you unban me now? As a ban appeal. And we're like, no. But anyway, yeah. The people who asked to be banned, are you just like touch starved? Is this like the closest you'll ever get to being touched by a woman? Is like having her mod click ban? Like, can you almost feel their finger on the mouse button as they click you? Well, like, what is it? What is it that you're craving here? Like, do you just want to be touched by a sword? Have you ever eaten niblets? No, but a friend of mine has. And they said that they are really, really bland and flavorless, and he doesn't get it. Niblets seem like rabbit shredded wheat. They're like the shredded wheat that has like a fruity filling in it. You know? Gay, gay. Like they have like the crunchy pillow outside and the soft, tender, gooey inside. But like they smell like they'd be flavorsome. But according to the humans I know who tried them, they're not flavorsome at all. I love you. I love you. I love you. You slut. Huh. What's your favorite cereal? Well, sadly, a lot of cereals have sheep's wool sweat in them for vitamin D. I swear there are easier ways to get vitamin D. But yeah, a lot of them are fortified. I prefer the term contaminated, but yeah, they have sheep sweat in. Yeah, it's called lanolin. And it's in like a lot of like Kellogg's-y things, like uh, cornflakes, I think, and like Cocoa Puffs and uh, frosted frosties and like things like that. Yeah. So like there are a whole bunch that I can't eat now, but I'm very very partial to dick, to the dick, to the dick, to the dick, to the dick. But wow, to the what? To the dad's to the to what? To Weetabix, to the little tiny Weetabix with the chocolate dick with the chocolate chips in, with the chocolate chips in, with a bit of vanilla soy milk. That'll do me just good, just fine. But I used to be vegetarian, so I did used to eat the cereals, the ones that had sheep's whey in, before I knew they had sheep's whey in. kind of fucked up that you can spend your whole life not knowing that you've been chowing down on like sheep sweat. Or worse, to be fair, there are worse things. Mm-mm. Oh, you're home now? That was fast, bitch. Well, I'm glad you're home safe. Like the vanilla flavoring. What, the anal butt gland vanilla flavoring? Yeah, that. And also, there's human hair in some kinds of bread. Um, there's little bugs called cochineal or cochineal. I'm still not sure how you say that word, but anyway, crushed bugs to make things red. Um, Even some of the quote unquote normal ones that you're like, oh, I already knew that. No, you didn't know enough. Like uh, with the honey is bee vomit. It's their puke. Um, and like all sorts of things like that. Like I could get into the nasty side of food, but I don't really feel like ruining things for you today. I feel like I ruined them enough. You may have just ruined Cheerios for me. I didn't even speak of I am that's not on me. What you everything between you and Google is between you and Google. Okay? That is between you and your search bar. I don't say shit about Cheerios. Okay? But they probably do have sheep sweat in too. They might be fortified with lanolin. Sorry. I don't know though. I don't know for sure. They do. Well, now you know. You know. Now you've only spent like your life so far eating sheep sweat. You know. Now you have a whole rest of your life ahead of you. Saved. Don't forget about figs. Yeah, I mean, I still eat figs. But figs technically digest wasps alive. And I love that fact for how dark it is, but I still consider them acceptable to eat because the life cycle, it's a reciprocal thing. You don't understand. The wasps liked it and the wasps consented. Okay, that's different. The wasps were like, it's part of, like, for the fig, it's like, oh yeah, climb in me, climb in my hole. And then the wasp obliges, and the wasp goes in there, it's like, oh yeah, I'm all up in your insides. You like that? And then they die in there, and the fig goes, I like that, and melts the wasp. But long before you ever eat it. Like, you never taste, it's not like you can taste wasp flavor or anything in it. Like, the wasp is long gone by the time you eat the fig, you know? And they would do that between each other, whether humans were involved or not. And also, the wasps benefit from the situation because it's how they reproduce. So, with all of those things in mind, I'm not too worried about the wasp situation. I'll still eat figs. I think that's fine. Why does anything exist at all? I want to know your thoughts about it. My thoughts are that it might not actually be humanly possible to actually know what the origin of all matter is or why it exists, because there are so many possibilities that would make it impossible for a human to ever know. For example, if the conditions for universes to be born exist in another dimension or an entirely different universe, and the whole reason that any matter is here is because of a leak from a completely different type of reality into ours, like say some condensed matter or some sort of explosion or something happened in another reality or another dimension or whatever, right? And the overspill came here and then it sealed itself off, then we will never ever know of the place where universes are born. We'll never know about the universe that birthed ours. We'll never understand how to get there. We'll never find it. Nothing. And so, like, that is one of many, many possibilities as to how everything could be here and there be no explanation. Also, if there was a time traveler who went back to the beginning of the universe and restarted the universe in a completely new way, then technically the original universe before the time traveler went back gets erased. But that universe is the whole reason that the second universe was ever born, because the first universe had to get to a point where the time traveler could exist, and then the time traveler had to go back and make a new universe. So, like, that origin universe is still the beginning, the how, and the why, but is no longer accessible by anyone because technically it never existed anymore. Like, there are so, I'm going to say it again, so many ways that there could be a how and a why that is completely untraceable, irreparably untraceable. And so, first of all, I don't think that anything needs a reason to exist. Like, some things just fucking happen. No rhyme, no reason, no order, no plan, no nothing. They just happen. Okay? And so there's no guarantee that there ever was a fucking why. There's no guarantee at all. And so needing that is about needing to be someone's bitch. Is about looking up and looking around and going, why am I here? I can't. I'm too dumb to give myself purpose. You give it to me. Right? And it's like sometimes the universe isn't going to rush to give you structure and order and answers. Sometimes you're going to go your whole life without knowing that something happened. You might get cheated on. You might raise a kid that's not even yours and never fucking know. Because to be honest, whatever this universe is made of, or whoever made it, or whatever, they clearly don't give a fuck whether or not you get answers. You will not get all the answers. You will not get to understand everything. You will not get to know anything, for sure. You won't even get to know if everything is real for sure. So, I don't fuck kids. I don't fuck. I don't think that we necessarily fuck. I don't think we necessarily need need answers to thrive and be happy and to do what matters. Something can matter without reason, you know? And something doesn't need to have a direct creator to be important. Like, you don't have to be made on purpose to matter. Like, I have God knows how many followers. I haven't checked my follower count lately. And those people want to hear what I have to say again someday. Nobody follows unless they want to come back sometime. And I was an accident. The only reason I exist is because two teenagers forgot to use a condom. I was not planned. And I'm an accident. And you can make any accident matter on your own. You don't need somebody else to make it matter for you. So I don't really need answers. I don't really know any of the answers. And I don't think that we as a human society, I don't necessarily think we'll ever find out the true reason, if there is any. You know? Wolf Rose, thanks so much for the gifties, by the way. I appreciate that. I really do. So yeah, like, with that said, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters why. It just matters that we're here. I believe the simulation theory is a hypothetical reason for my existence. So the simulation theory, which one? Just the world is a simulation? Because that doesn't really explain much. Okay, so we're a simulation. Why? Is this just a simulation run to find out what world would get if men run things? If you give the world to men, what kind of society and what kind of world you get? Is it a learning ground? Like, do 7, 8, 9-year-old kids put on a headset when they go to bed and live like 8 lifetimes in their sleep on the VR and wake up like ever wiser? Like, do human beings of the future just use VR headsets in their sleep like university? And instead of getting like a qualification for one specific subject, you just do so many lifetimes. So along the way, you become, a capable doctor, skateboarder, skydiver, like You get all the qualifications in the world because you've lived like thousands of lifetimes. Maybe it's a training ground. Maybe it's a data center for studies. Maybe it's a trap. Maybe it's a prison. You have, like, this being a simulation still gives no why, gives no how. It gives no real context or answers. Knowing that it's not quote unquote real wouldn't actually give you why are we here or what is the nature of the universe. It wouldn't actually give you anything except more questions. It wouldn't explain anything. I think simulation is the most likely answer, sadly. Well, I don't know. If this is a perfect replica of the universe, then um, I am part of the last ever generation to remember life before the capacity to make simulated realities. Which means I'm the last generation to feel secure or have any security in the possibility that the universe is real. And the reason why I say that is because if we made a perfect replica of the universe, then in that replica, it would be possible to replicate the universe. And so you could be in a replication of a replication of a replication of a replication of the universe, for all you know. But at present, it is not possible to make a perfect replica of the universe. So that suggests that we're not in a perfect replica of the universe, which kind of suggests that there's a possibility that this is all real. And also, we have a bias to believe that this isn't real because a lot of people are deeply dissatisfied with their lives, and a lot of people who really don't want to face reality and also face death. A lot of people think if this isn't real, you're gonna wake up and just take a headset off one day, and like it can be a form of escapism, a way to avoid like the terror and fear of death. Bruh. Woo! We can't even replicate a fly. I don't know about the universe though. Yeah, that's kind of true. Like, we can't even replicate a kidney. I hope whoever made the universe wasn't using ChatGPT. Well, when you look at some things do seem pretty scuffed. And believe you me, like sometimes I'm a bit weirded out and I'm like, whoa, maybe things aren't real. I've had that feeling a few times. The most prominent three examples I can give you off the top of my head. Um, I was laying in bed, I rolled over, and there was two bottles, one of hairspray and one of something else. I can't remember what it was. And they were on my bedside table. And I rolled over and I looked at it, and they were like this, with the hairspray closest to me. And I didn't blink, nothing changed, and they switched places, like instantaneously. And it was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And I wasn't dreaming or anything like that. I was fully awake. And the other one was I was carrying some things for my mom, and you know those bottles that have like a squidgy top because when you unscrew it, you can use it as a pipette. So they have a squidgy top to suck all of the juices into, so you can pipette droplets of stuff into things. Yeah, so one of those bottles fell off the pile of stuff my mom was making me carry. It went upside down. It bounced on the squishy end into the air. Me and my mom both watched it, almost in slow motion, like, no, right? And we could, like, there was nothing we could do in time except just helplessly watch it come crashing to the ground. And it bounced, and then mid-air just went and disappeared. Didn't go anywhere. Didn't go under anything, didn't go above anything, didn't smack into anything, didn't land anywhere. Nothing. Like, we watched it, we tracked it, both of us. It blipped out of existence. And there was nowhere for it to hide. Like, it was right in the middle of the aisle. There was no way for anything to go underneath the shelves. It's completely blocked off. And we, to this day, have no idea where that went. We were like, what the fuck? And then the third one was we were stood outside of a church at a bus stop waiting for Dickhead, what were we waiting for? A bus. And there was a guy stood at the edge of the church, also waiting for a bus, with his girlfriend, I presume. And he had dog shit on his shoe, and he was scraping on the edge, like the corner of the church. So where the walls meet and there's a corner, like this. And he was scraping his shoe on the edge of the church to get the dog shit off. And she was like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. You know, it's a church. And he went, doesn't matter, there's no God. If there's a God, let him strike me down now. And he looked up and a bird shat right on his forehead. And me and my mum looked at each other and went, whoa. So anyway, the 3 times in my life I was like, is reality real though? I still don't know. I think there's a good possibility that this is all real. You know? And the kind of, my feeling about it not being real is, does it fucking matter? Because, like, I know I've gone through some of the possibilities why it wouldn't be real, right? Like, maybe it's a training ground, maybe it's an education system, maybe it's just a study, right? But then there are other possibilities, you know? There are, like, I could go on and on. We might be a dating app, like in Black Mirror, you know, for all we know. I forgot where I was going with this, and it was a point about all of this. Oh, when we play computer games, we do it for escapism, right? I play The Last of Us. I love the world, even though it's bleak and dystopian. I love the world that The Last of Us is set in, right? What if we're a computer game? Because that might suggest we're escapism, which means that whatever's actually real is worse. So when you think about it that way, it might actually be worth just enjoying and treating this like it's completely real. Also, if you're not a game character, if you're an actual real person with a real life out there, you just can't remember it, then you're not supposed to remember it for a fucking reason. And you're not supposed to know that it's not real for a reason. Okay? Like, maybe you can't learn life lessons from all these simulated lifetimes if you think they're not real. Maybe you start playing it like a computer game and you don't take it seriously and you don't get to fall in love and you don't get to fear death and you don't get to feel a sense of loss if you know that this is all pixels. Maybe it eradicates all the usefulness of being here if you see it as a simulation. Could be one of the explanations as to why you might be in a simulated universe but not remember the outside world that you came from. We might be brain organoids. Brain organoids are bits of human brain tissue that are used like computers to perform tasks because they're more advanced and require less energy than actual computing systems. You can look them up. They're kind of like bionic slaves. They are just like little hunks of brain that do tasks, right? And they can play computer games. And we put them in a simulation where they believe they are a butterfly when we're not using them in their downtime. So maybe this is our butterfly mode. Maybe we're all just little hunks of brain flesh on petri dishes waiting to serve our masters. And in the time where we are unpaid and unused, we are just floating around in this reality thinking that we're you and I. So would it matter if it's a simulation if I can't get out of it? If I'm just a hunk of brain tissue that's going to be dead in 30 days because I don't have a respiratory system to sustain myself with. So, I get like seemingly the equivalent of an entire lifetime simulated for me. Like, In all of the situations I can think of, there's no benefit to knowing it's a simulation. And there's still a chance that it's all real, which makes all of this speculation kind of irrelevant to how you live your life or how you feel about yourself. Completely. It makes every conclusion actually really useless and pointless and inapplicable. Why does the lighting make your nose look fake? Just because the shadow is just highlighting my nose and only my nose. You see that? I actually don't like my nose. I think one day, if I ever get a life where I get to sit still and do anything for myself, I would love to get a nose job because I don't like the shape of it. And I've always hated it ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was very, very little, I've always wanted a different nose. So, like, I think one day I would love to have a different nose. Absolutely. Any other nose than this. Huh. Oh, it's time to read my chat. Okay, noted. So, I had a really fun stream, and I'm glad you came and sat in the bathtub with me. But I should probably go because I have been made aware that I'm running out of time, and I don't have a good sense of time, so I'm going to trust my mods to help me with that. I did ask them to help me with timekeeping because I don't understand time. And also, I think several parts of me have just gone dead, and I need to revive them in order to party tonight. I think I've got like one dead ass cheek, a dead foot, dead ankle, but just kind of like on alternating sides. So when I walk out of this hotel room, they're going to wonder what I've been up to because I've been waddling like a penguin. Did you learn to whistle, or was your first whistle just as good? I have been whistling since I was a toddler, so I don't remember my first whistle, but it was very loud and very clear, impossibly good at a very young age. So I wouldn't. Maybe I did need to practice or learn, but I don't remember it because I was an infant. Anywho, thanks for all the questions and for all the subs, especially you, Mert. Holy shit, that was so cool of you. But yeah, I will see you again soon. I don't know if I will stream Monday. I don't know yet. I will be back streaming on Monday or Tuesday. But until then, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again. Okay? Be good, everyone. Goodbye. I will miss you.